Hi guys, this is Deepak. Welcome back again. This is in continuation with the OpenStack beginner guide, or you can say the OCA certification course. As you know that we have already completed first lecture, and if you are directly landing on this video, I would request you to go back and check the first lecture. You should be able to find the link for the first lecture in the comment below, or even on the screen. You should have some link to take you to the part 1. So let's start. Today we will see history of the OpenStack project, how it looks today. So today is OpenStack. About OpenStack. So some fact about OpenStack. And then we'll go and try to install our own OpenStack. So today we are just gonna prepare the virtual machine and do the configuration for this virtual machine. So let's start with the agenda. So OpenStack was established in June 2010 as a project that connected NASA's NOVA virtual server, also called Nebula, and Rackspace Swift data storage system, which was distributed data storage system Rackspace used to provide the hosting services. The first version under code name Austin was released in October 2010. The main programming language for OpenStack is Python. So you can see this OpenStack is nothing but modules, right? So many modules come together to serve something, let's say a virtual data center. And these all modules are connected, or you can say tightly integrated using Python, and even some of them are written in Python. So OpenStack is being developed under control of OpenStack Foundation since September 2012. So September 2012, they launched something called OpenStack Foundation, which is kind of governance body for this project. And they started with 18,000 individual initially and 500 corporate members. But if you see it today, OpenStack project, you have 76,461 till now, people contributing to OpenStack. You have 666 big giant and even smaller companies supporting to OpenStack. You have 187 countries using and contributing OpenStack community, and 20 plus million of lines code. This is the fastest growing open source community in the world. And to be honest with you, by 2020, you have lots of job opening in this area. Just to name some, we have big giant corporates, big giant company, and some smaller companies supporting to OpenStack, contributing to OpenStack, and these, some giant companies have their own distributions of OpenStack. About OpenStack. The OpenStack code is distributed under an Apache license 2.0, meaning this is open source, pure open source. You can download it, you can tweak it to meet your requirement. If you wanna learn more about vendor contribution, you can go to Stackalytics. This is how it looks, the website, and this is where you can see who is contributing to OpenStack community, the OpenStack project. You can see the project, the module itself here, module listed here, and by module you can select, for example, and you can see who is contributing to OpenStack or who is contributing to the module. For example, now for NOVA, we can see Red Hat, IBM, Mirantis, Huawei, NEC. These are the top vendors who contributed code to NOVA. OpenStack is developed and released around 6 month cycle. We can see that the release cycle is very aggressive. Then this is why there are many corporate which are still waiting for OpenStack to be stable. They still believe that OpenStack is still emerging, and one day it will be very stable. We can see that within 1 year they are saying the version, for example, Mitaka is not supported after 1 year officially. So guys, let's start with the practical. Today we are gonna see the installation of the virtual machine using Virtualbox and configuring it for our, you can say configuring it for the DevStack installation or preparing it for the cloud installation. Let's start with the Virtualbox. You will have to install the latest version of Virtualbox. It is 5.1.12 today if you do it, and then go and create a new machine. I am creating a new machine called DevStack U16. This is Ubuntu 16.04. That's why I am saying U16. As my system have 16 gig of memory, I am assigning almost 8 plus gig of memory, so it's around 9 GB. You can do it with 4 GB, 5 GB, that's fine, because we are gonna install the single, you can stop DevStack. I am creating disk. Okay, we'll have to add 2 adapters. So now I will add only one adapter, which is NAT. So it will directly, it will connect to your host network directly using NAT, so that you can download the latest function. This is where I am choosing the ISO from the folder, local folder, and you can say click OK. Here we go. We have our system ready now for installation. I am saying install Ubuntu server. I am choosing the language for the installation. It says you wanna change keyboard layout. I am saying no. Again, I am selecting English for as a default language. It was trying to get IP address from DHCP. This is where I am seeing I'm saying the host name of this VM will be 25-1, because we may need to create another virtual machine for future installations. That's why I'm saying 25-1. I'm gonna use Ubuntu as my default username, and even the password will be Ubuntu. As it is very big password, it will ask for confirmation. It is asking if I wanna encrypt my home directory. As this is testing, I'm saying no. Initially I have selected as my time zone as US. Actually, now it is saying okay, it has detected my time zone, it's Dubai, so I'm saying yes. This is where you need to select the LVM part, so guided with LVM. It is asking for writing these changes to the disk. I have selected automated partitioning, which should be okay for you. This is asking if I have proxy and I need to bypass it or configure it. Not required. I'm saying yes, I need all security update automatically to be this security update should be installed automatically. This is where you should be very careful. You should install the OpenSSH server. This is very important, otherwise you will not be able to connect to this one. And you can say standard system utilities and virtual machine host. This shall take long time actually. So if I'm speeding this installation, I'm doing it manually. So if you see it's taking a lot of time, it's very normal. now installing grub bootloader. It's asking if I want to install group, update the master record. As this VM is gonna only host one operating system, I am saying yes, but if you are doing multi-boot, you will have to be very careful while selecting this. This is saying okay, almost finishing the installation, and yes, it is completed. Congratulations. Now the final reboot, and it should come up fine. Okay, here you go. You have your login screen on the. Okay, I'm using Ubuntu, and the password even is Ubuntu. Okay, this is where I'm checking if I have IP address assigned, which I can see for interface 1, it is there, 10.0.2.15/24. I'm checking if Google is accessible, and I can see I can access Google. Curl is a command which you can use to, to download something from web address, or it's like browser from command line. And this is how you should take the snapshot of the virtual machine, so that if something happened to it, you can simply revert it back. So I'm taking the snapshot saying this is Ubuntu 16.04 fresh installation, and I'm saving it, so that if I messed up something, I can simply come back and restore this snapshot. Now I'm shutting down the VM, checking and adding another interface, so that I can access this VM using the PuTTY terminal. I don't really like to work in the console because it will not give you all functionalities like copy pasting, and I always like SSH terminals. This is where we are logging into the system. Now I'm checking if, okay, this is, I'm becoming root now. Let me check if we have the IP address on the second interface, which is this one. I'm not able to see the IP address here. We might need to try to, bring it up. Oof, I'm not able to do it. Let me try the Dhcp client. Okay, Dhcp client is the command which will try to get Dhcp addresses from the Dhcp server. So I can see now we have address, and I can simply log into this virtual machine using PuTTY. It is 192.168.56.101. This is the default address if you add the host base adapter. Let me log into this virtual machine now. Okay, I can see the IP address here and here. I'm able to connect to the, I am able to download something from Google, and it's working fine. So guys, we have our system ready for Dhcp installation. Dhcp is the simplest installation, though I'm saying it is very simple. I'm sure you're gonna hit a lot of issues. You're gonna see a lot of bugs while installing it. We will do the installation in next chapter. Hopefully it will work. And if there are any bugs, definitely I'll try to find out some resolution for or workaround for this bugs. Join me in next discussion to learn more about how to install Dhcp and if any issues, how to rectify or troubleshoot their stack. Thank you.